very good morning to you. Welcome to the Motivation Monday, where we bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. Today is one of those inspiring stories. I wonder if you have a gift, but I wonder if there are people that you look and you desire to be like them. You wonder, how is it that somebody could get to this level by virtue of just their natural giftings? Well, as they have said in Kiswahili, ukiona vyaelea, jua vimeundwa. Could there perhaps be more than just the gifting, or is the gifting sufficient in and of itself? Today we are talking about leveraging your gifts. That is the conversation that we will be having today. And joining us today is one guy that has used and has leveraged his gifts maximally. Joining us this day is DJ Raf.
Yeah.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Thank you
Good
for
to
having
see
me
you.
here.
Yeah.
Thank you for the warm introduction. And I felt like a guest pastor. Like how you just relax and wait for the accolades
so that you can come and preach.
Yes. It's good to be here.
Thank you. I know you're used to being on this side, but today, kindly bear with us as we hold you on that other side.
Yes.
Just by way of introduction, just help us appreciate who is DJ Raf. By the way, birth certificate.
The birth certificate.
DJ is the first name and then Raf is the second name.
My mother does not call me DJ Raf, in case you're wondering. And also, I'm not a Raf person. When you told people that DJ Raf is going to be here, maybe some people expected someone who looks like they can rough them up. I am not that kind of person. My name is Raphael Nyamo.
So Raf comes from Raphael.
Raf comes from Raphael. It is not R-O-U-G-H. And Raphael, by the way, means healed by God.
Ooh.
Rafa, Jehovah Rafa, the healer.
And El, God.
El, yes. Yeah. So healed by God. So anytime I'm going through something, I go back to, there's power in names. That's another conversation. So I go back to that and just tell God, hey, I'm Raphael. I'm healed by you. Heal me.
All right.
So DJ Raf is Raphael Nyamo.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So just help us appreciate. I know I've just mentioned a bit, that you're DJ Raf.
Yes.
So that speaks into sort of your profession, what catapulted you into the limelight, the fact that you're a DJ.
Yeah.
Tell us what else you would like us to know about yourself.
Okay. So DJing is what I do. DJing is, by definition, it has a definition. Some people look at us DJs and think, come on.
Me, what I know about DJing is parents, when they hear their children tell them, I want to be a DJ, the parent is just there with attics.
Yeah, and they are wondering, what sort of games is this child playing? What sort of person is this person going to be? So by definition, it means making music out of music. So a DJ makes music out of music.
Okay.
Because the equipment that we use, the DJ decks, the players, they are actually a musical instrument. The only one that makes music from music. So I get songs from different people and I make something that you can appreciate, as a body of work.
Yeah.
So that is what I have done for many years. I'm going to give up my age if I tell you how many, but I still will.
Yeah.
It's more than 15. It's more than 15 years.
You
being
DJing.
A gospel DJ.
Yeah.
Underline, bold, italics, gospel.
Gospel DJ.
That's all I've done. And I've also been an artist. I've rapped a little bit with the likes of J-Farm and Jimmy Gate and Kelele Takatifu.
Oh, you've done a few?
Yeah, we've done songs. Kuna Day remix, I was there. Kuna Day by Jimmy Gate. Yes.
You had a line?
Yes.
Unakumbuka, unajua saa ingine wasanii, you don't remember your lines. Do you remember any of the lines you've sung?
I remember some of the lines. Sema God's idea. Kuteseka kwako siyo God's idea. Yeah, a few things like that.
All right.
Again, you can tell where I was.
Yeah.
The things I was singing about. Poverty was a bit of a problem. We'll touch on that later.
Yeah.
So I have done music production for the most part. Yes, I went to school, studied economics and statistics, but I am now a DJ. And that always makes people wonder, how are those two related?
And we will come to that because one of the things that fascinates me is how, one can you know, be a graduate with whatever profession, and, you know, go this path, you know, of pursuing whatever gifts it is that they have. But from the onset, I think perhaps a question that many, especially parents, would want to hear. Does it pay? You mean your bills have been paid by being a DJ?
You know, that is a very important question, because when you're going into any career, it's important to also factor that in and ask yourself, how am I going to put food on the table? How am I going to pay my bills? Yes, it pays. Like many professions, I would like to say even any profession, it may not pay you immediately, but if you're good at it, if you're diligent enough, if you actually put in the hours, yes, it definitely pays. I have not done anything to do with economics since I left the University of Nairobi. It has all been DJing. And the songs that I mentioned, those are the ones that didn't pay. You're going to have a conversation with an artist that has been paid by music to encourage musicians. That's not what I'm here to do today. DJing has paid for me over the years through concerts, through radio, through television, through doing my own events. I have an annual event called Pasaka Party, which is an Easter Sunday event, and, you know, the plan is to make it like a grand African, not even just East African event, where we can have, you know, ministers from all over come in. So that is what I've been doing. Yes, it definitely pays.
Oh, all right. Okay, so let's now backtrack then. Can you tell us a bit of your own upbringing? Because I think there's something about our background that shapes the kind of people that we eventually become.
True. You know, before we even started recording, I'd like to mention, you know, we joked a bit about, you know, where I grew up and where I went to church. So I grew up in Kirinyaga. Maybe I'm a Kirinyaga person. I'm one of those people that the Kikuyu people laugh at when we speak. because our Kikuyu is like Kiembu with some Kimeru, with some Kikuyu. So I grew up in Kirinyaga. If I tell you the schools I went to, you'll understand it was actual Kirinyaga. I went to Kiaomboi Primary School. And then after that, God blessed me. I went to Kirinyaga Township Primary School. And then
I like the fact that you say God blessed.
God blessed me because, you know, Kiaomboi was one of those schools that, when you hear people talk about, I went to school without shoes, you were walking, you know, all those stories you hear. So my parents were ministers, they still are. My father has been a church elder for a very, very long time. And my mother taught the Sunday school as well for many years, and preaching as well. So I grew up in church. I used to, in Sunday school, you know, lead Sunday school, sing in the choir, play something called the darama. Darama is the drum that we used to play there. So that
you are the lead instrumentalist.
Yes, because at that time, it was just drums for us. It was just the darama. There's a big one and a small one that I am playing, and the whole church is singing. So that is my upbringing. So after high school, after primary school rather, that is when I came to Nairobi. The first time I came to Nairobi was after class 8 when I went to Starehe Boys Center. So that was now my high school. Immediately got into Form 1, went to CU once when I thought it was compulsory. And then after that, never went back. Got to Form 4, like all those years now, I forgot I am this, you know, this saved guy from Kirinyaga. In Form 4, I remember a statement we were told, which is not a very good statement. We were told, you need God now more than ever before. Of course, we always need God. But I remember just praying and telling God, I'm not going to fake that I'm a very good Christian right now, but please just let me pass these exams. I don't want to fail. So KCSE comes by, I get a minus, a very strong one. Like, okay, thank you, God. Went to the University of Nairobi 2 years later. Of course, you know, it's the JAB admission. 2 years later, but a year after high school is when I started training to become a DJ. And this is how it happened. Back in the day, we had a concert called Jesus Night.
Jesus Night.
Jesus Night. So
I
Jesus
can't
Night.
remember it.
So you are probably not in Nairobi yet.
No. I've always been in Nairobi.
Okay.
I think I probably was not saved yet. Yeah, that might be it.
That has to be it because at the time, that was the concert, the concert that happened every last Friday of the month, and it was a Kesha. So artists used to come in, DJs used to come in, I think, live music as well. Pastors used to preach the whole night, and it used to happen monthly at Nairobi Cinema.
Yeah. So
my brother used to go to Jesus Night. I never used to go. At the time, we were living in Pipeline, Embakasi. That's also another story. So my bro comes to me one day, tells me, I went to Jesus Night, and there's this guy called DJ Nevs, who is training DJs. They said they have a DJ academy.
Yeah.
And you said you wanted to be a DJ.
Oh, you had already indicated your interest to be a DJ?
Yes. If I backtrack just a little bit, in high school, in the computer lab, I stumbled upon a software called Virtual DJ. So I started playing around, a little bit with Virtual DJ, and I came across Gospel Fathers, the music by those guys back in the day. And I was really, really impressed that this can be, gospel music can sound so good, so urban as well. Because apart from that, it was, the Munishis of the day and all those songs we had enjoyed, but I hadn't come across urban gospel music. So I used to call myself DJ Raf from Form 3.
Ooh.
So the Raf at the time was RAPH, actually, just the short form of Raphael. So my brother comes, tells me, there are these guys, they're starting a DJ academy. At the time, I had started working in Upper Hill. You see, I'm already, out
this
of
is
school.
Post high school, just before joining uni?
Yes. So I was working and I was getting paid 10K per month.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
It is. Back in the day, you think that was maybe?
Yeah, that's 20 G's plus, if you cater for inflation. But also, this is just post-high school.
Yes. The problem is I stayed there for too long, even after high school. But that is the money I used to pay for the DJ classes. Because I went to Anniversary Towers, met DJ Nevs, who had started Spin Reg DJ Academy.
I think I remember Spin Reg.
Yes. So Spin Reg at the time, when I joined, I found a guy, a very confused looking guy called DJ Mo. So he had done his first month. We were doing 2 months.
Okay.
So Mo had finished in the classes, had done 1 month. So I joined in, and at that time, when I'm doing the first month, he's doing his second month. So I finished, and then now just continued back with my work. So Mo was absorbed into Spin Reg. I'll call DJ Nevs and ask why I wasn't, because I had been promised, Raf, you're going to join us also. But I didn't. God had his plans. So I continued with work, then joined the University of Nairobi. I think, for perspective, we may give people the years. So we are talking about 2008, when now I joined the University of Nairobi. So all that time, when I wasn't DJing, in my heart I felt, this is what I really want. This is what I want to do. But I didn't know how to express it. Remember back in the day, even DJ equipment was very difficult to come by. The kids these days, they are lucky there's even software you can use on your phone that you can even play around with it and make something as a DJ. And also getting a laptop in itself was a struggle. So later on, how I got back to DJing, and just something I'd like to mention even before that is I thought about being a secular DJ. And one day a friend of mine came to me with a proposal and told me there are these bashes, we used to call them, parties that we can be playing. And I remember with a laptop playing at Kikuyu campus, UON Kikuyu campus, when they had a party. So I remember I'm playing music and I'm looking at the freshers, the first years. And I see like a group of girls, like 3 girls. And in that group, I could tell 2 of these are really into this. They're enjoying themselves. They are very happy with this party. This one over here doesn't belong here. This one is trying to fit in.
Yeah.
And then I knew I'm called to speak to this one. And I'm doing the wrong thing right here.
Yeah.
I should be that person that gives this other girl here an option. That, you know what? There are all these people going to that party. That's not my kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's this other thing that is happening over here. I hear they are playing gospel music.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So when I go back to now, fast forward to how now I started DJing, again, God has used DJ Mo as much as I made fun of him.
Yeah.
He called me, told me he had gotten a TV job that is now at NTV.
Yeah.
And before that, he had been DJing at a church. I was like, tell me more.
Yeah. DJing at a church.
What is this church that people are DJing?
Yeah.
Imagine we're talking about maybe 2009 or 2010, and Mavuno Church in Bellevue, let me not call it Bellevue now, Bellevue.
Yeah.
That's what we used to call it.
Yeah.
The youth church there had a DJ every Sunday.
Ooh.
And let me take just this opportunity
Yeah.
to speak to pastors.
Like us.
We're talking about, yes, I'm speaking to you. And, the pastors were watching us because that was very revolutionary. Let me tell you how it worked. How it worked is, in the youth church, they still had, the praise and worship.
Yeah.
Praise and worship was still there. But DJ is set up. So I replaced DJ Mo at South Sea. And what the DJ does is, there are kids who want to present something.
Yeah.
So maybe a song, someone wants to dance. I remember there's a dance crew that used to come to that church specifically just to showcase.
Yeah.
And I knew those kids were not even born again. But they used to come there every single Sunday. It really helped them. So the DJ will play, maybe I'll play a beat, and the kids dance, and then we'll have what we call a hype set. So a hype set, it's dancing to gospel music, and we have a hype man. So before Mo left, the hype man was Alemba back in the day.
I remember that name.
Yes. And the first day I went to DJ, Alemba is not there, and now I need a hype man.
Yeah.
So there's a dancer called MC Kelly who ended up being like a big hype man later on, who hyped on the day.
Yeah.
So the hype is simply just, we play proper gospel songs. The hype man is just telling people,
Yeah.
Mikono,
Yeah.
move like,
Yeah.
it's just a simple dance. Doesn't go more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that was enough to keep a lot of kids coming to church because they felt they could identify
Yeah.
with the church, with the youth church back in the day.
Yeah.
And remember, we are told about the church history, and we're told that even these instruments we enjoy playing today, most of them were not allowed in church.
Yeah.
So those people who look at DJs and think, you don't belong in church, we actually do.
Yeah.
That is why I defined DJing.
Yeah.
It's making music out of music.
Yeah.
It's a musical instrument, and we should leverage on every single weapon or every single asset that we have as Christians.
Yeah.
When these kids go to the club, they don't find unless they're like really old guys,
Yeah.
they don't find live bands there. No, they find a DJ playing. And for me, it helped me even take a totally different route.
Yeah.
Because who knows where I could have ended up if I went in the other direction. So God really helped me and helped a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And another way that the DJ helps the church is nurturing of talent. I remember a lot of artists who came out, the likes of Chris and so many other artists. Those were dancers in church. We used to have ex-candidates. They still have them, yes.
Yeah.
But they were really, really active, and they were really looking out for talent actively. So I would encourage pastors. I know you're doing a great job. What I would encourage you to continue doing is identify the talent within, especially within your youth church, within your young adults, so that
that is
they don't get lost.
even this kind of giftings and talents that seem off, like DJing.
Yes.
All right.
They do seem off.
This is Motivation Monday, where we bring you challenging conversations and inspiring story. And what an inspiring story we have on leveraging your gifts. DJ Raf is the guest today. My name is Elijah Mukaya. I wonder what you are getting as you're hearing this conversation. I wonder if you're perhaps there and there's a gifting that God has given you and you've never known, what to make of it. You're torn in this space between passion and putting food on the table, and you wonder, can this one day come together? Please send us your comment, your feedback. 20316 is our SMS line. 0786 316 316 is our WhatsApp line. But for now, let's get back to this conversation and continue hearing this amazing story. Welcome back, DJ Raf.
Thank you.
Yeah, so now where we left it at, now, this opportunity has opened for you.
Yeah.
And now you are playing in the church.
In the church, yes.
So you and the praise and worship, same WhatsApp group.
Oh, yes.
You're both playing music.
We are. And also another thing that we used to do from time to time is DJ worship.
DJ worship.
Yes. Like I can play the worship song that the band could have played, and we worship. And
people worship.
And we pray.
Yeah,
and we
I remember when I was in campus, I think we had one of those. It's probably the only time I've experienced, and it was actually quite meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're actually using this, and the DJ will play the song better than the band could have played.
That's
we are bordering on clashing with the live band. I think we should use both.
Yeah.
I remember there's a time we went to a concert, and it was, I think, in Kakamega, and we had a live band. And everyone now started saying, DJ, we want the DJ. The live band wasn't doing a very good job.
Yeah.
There's a place for, live music. And I think live music is really, really, really important. And that's another area we should look at, even in terms of talent, because we have a lot of good musicians in church who are not really artists. There's a difference.
Oh, there's a difference?
Yes.
Okay.
And we have a lot of artists who are making music that now is being pushed to us for consumption as Christians, and they're not musicians. They're just artists.
What's the difference?
So an artist is just anybody, it's from the word art. Anyone can create art.
Yeah.
And art is subjective. It could be really good art. It could be, to your eyes, could be really bad art. So an artist will just go to studio, and producers have been going through a lot, and I'm now in that field as well.
Yeah.
So I can tell you, it's really hard working with an artist who maybe hasn't even worked on themselves as a singer and to understand music and music theory and all that, and that person is just going to make music, and that is most of the songs that we have now.
Yeah.
But a musician, from the word music, understands music, knows music theory. Music theory, for example, you can say, I want to play in the chord of A minor, and I'll play the chords 1, 3, and 5. Now you see that's music.
Yeah, that's Greek too.
Yes. So like your church, your church choir right now, when they hear that, they understand exactly what that is.
Yeah.
But you see, not every musician is equipped now to go out and become an artist as well. To know how to record, to know how to, we joked about photo shoots.
Yeah.
To know how to present yourself as an artist. You already have an advantage that you're a musician.
Yeah.
Because a lot of artists aren't. But we can now help these people. How we can help them is identify people like me, utilize people like me properly in church. If you find someone in your youth ministry, for instance, and you find this person sings really, really well, and you can always tell someone who's standing out. If they have the desire, that's another part altogether.
Okay.
There are people who are really good musicians in church. They have no desire to go and record songs and go perform them, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But some of them are, but they're stuck. So those are the ones I'm talking about, that we need to help nurture them and and teach them, and sometimes even support them with recording. Maybe it's someone who talk to the parents as well for consent if it's someone who's really, really young. But that is something that we can do to help musicians in church become good artists. And I think if we do that, again, it's another whole conversation of the songs that you have out right now, that most of them, people have been saying, ini gospel, is this really
ini gospel kweli?
Yes, and we shouldn't be asking ourselves that question. The fact that you're asking a question, it means there's a problem.
Okay. I think that's something worth noting. But you've mentioned something in terms of desire.
Oh yes.
How important is it? Because it's possible for someone to feel like, I've always had this gift. How comes it's not translated to anything? Could it be that at the very beginning point, we have missed it? That there was no desire, and the intensity of the desire was not enough to push you, so to speak, to that next level?
Yes, because I honestly, I really believe that God responds to things that we really want. God looks at our heart. It's like, this child of mine really wants to be a musician. They really have this burning desire. And it's in other things as well. Like we talk about, speaking in tongues. There's someone who really, really wants it. Someone else doesn't really want it. And you can tell, later on with who ends up getting this gift. So when you really desire something, you really want it, and it's for the right reasons. That's also
for the right reasons.
For the right reasons. There are people who, as you've mentioned, that have been on your side of interviewing and all that. I've interacted with artists, and when you ask them, so what do you really want to be? Where do you see yourself? As we ask, in a few years. So I want to be the biggest artist in the world, and it's okay to want that. But some of them just want it for the sake of wanting it.
Yeah.
But if you have the desire to be, yes, that big artist, that really influential artist, so that you can win souls for Christ.
Yeah.
Even politicians look at people who are influential to give them votes. You're valuable to them. So in the kingdom, when you're influential, it's a good thing. You're someone of value.
Yeah.
You can say something on your TikTok or your other platforms, and people will come to Christ. So you really need to have that desire, but the intention. And God sees your heart.
Hey,
you may lie to us that souls, but then you're just like, I want to show them. I want to show these people. Yes, I will show them I can be the biggest. So those artists who have that desire, and how do we even know they have that desire? Talk to them. Talk to them. I think I'd say, as a pastor or just someone serving in church,
or even a parent.
Exactly. That makes a lot of sense. As a parent as well, it's good to investigate and find out. Does this child really desire? We'll get to, my family. I have a child who's 11 years old, and sometimes I may see something in her that I think is something she desires, but next week, like I've tried to show her, DJing is fun. Look what this button does. And she's like, okay. She runs off. So if they have that desire, and the desire is in the right place, and sometimes it is up to us to also guide that desire. That person may be feeling like, yes, it's all about being a big artist. It's up to us to counsel them. Not just the pastors, just anyone serving in church, or just someone in church. Maybe you're not even serving, but you've identified someone. Let's also not leave all these burdens to pastors. Let's help them. Maybe you can identify someone, and then you can now approach the pastor and tell them, hey, pastor, there's this kid who I think has this talent. Maybe let's have a conversation. Let's talk to the parents. Maybe the parents might even open your eyes more and help you understand it. But I think it's up to us. But where we have failed is sometimes they actually come to us. We're not even looking for them. They come to us and we let them down. And I think, on Judgment Day, that is going to come up.
We will be asked.
The questions will come up. But God gives us the grace. And I believe that we have that responsibility. So it's all about being intentional about it and knowing that this is something that God wants me to do, wants me to help this person.
All right. So I like what you said, just in terms of desire, but not just desire, but with the right intention. But now, I don't think desire alone ever did anything. So now, from your own life, you'd already mentioned to us that DJing was something you desired, you know, as early as high school. You know, you already started calling yourself DJ Raf. But how did that eventually translate into a career? Because I believe DJing was not alone. What other things, you know, are you able to incorporate into this desire to DJing that eventually it actually panned out into being a career?
Yeah. Let me first mention about my degree in economics and statistics.
Yes.
So first of all, I wanted to do computer science.
Okay.
That was what in high school. I did computer studies. I really wanted to do computer science. But for the job admission, my 79 point A- was not enough. They needed 80 points. So I missed that with 1 point. So I went, looked on the board and saw what's the other thing that I can do over here. And I think there's a whole conversation around helping our children and making them understand that it's just not just about how the course sounds. It is not what you've heard about. Someone can just go and do music, you know, in university, even if they got 8 A's.
It's true.
And that is still okay. But, you know, God uses whatever we have. So I think that was important, going through the 4 years. Why? Because, you know, school is not just about applying exactly what you learned. You learn so many things in school. You become a critical thinker. You become trainable. And again, that is another thing that is really important. That's why you see people who've done agriculture working in a bank.
That's true.
Because this person, yes, they did agriculture and they went through semester after semester, course after course, 4 years and finished. This is someone who can see something through. Someone who can start something and see it through. So that's one quality you've already learned, regardless of whichever course you've done in school. And you go to this bank, they're like, okay, you were trained in agriculture. That means we can also train you how our bank works. And it's going to, you know, it's going to work out. You're going to understand it. So again, we look back and ask ourselves, why did I study mole concept in chemistry? We were wasting time. It's knowledge. You know, it's about knowing. It is important to just know things.
It's not just that, how does this apply in real life?
You know it. You know Australia exists. It has not helped you today.
I've not been to Australia.
You haven't.
But I know it's somewhere upper south.
It's somewhere down there, and there are lots of kangaroos there. It's important. It's good. It's good that you know. So knowledge, let us never undermine knowledge. Let us never look at knowledge and think, we say in Kiswahili itanisaidia na nini. It's not going to help me. No. It's sharpening you. And the more you know our brains, we are told the capacity is huge. God has given us great capacity in our brains. And how to now activate it is to work it out. You know, the same way we're told to work out our salvation, you work out in the gym, we work out our brains. So this person who has worked out, working out this brain for 4 years, is very different from someone who ignored it. Maybe they had the chance, ignored it. Or they didn't take it seriously. So that is one thing I'd like to say. You know, I never liked it when I came to just get used to it. When people looked at me and said, you wasted your degree. No, I did not waste it. So to your question on now how I actually now was able to translate this desire to a career. First of all, skill is really important. And in the Bible, we are also told about just how important skill is. And sharpening the axe, as I call it. You have to sharpen that axe every day. You know, it's from the analogy that we're told that if you're given an axe and you have this number of days to cut down a tree, maybe 10 days, it's wiser to take 9 of those days sharpening the axe first. And in 1 day, you'll be able to cut it down. So again, I'd like to say, for anyone who's specifically, we're talking about, you know, just talent in general, but specifically interested in DJing, I'd like to say it is not as easy as people think, because there's even music theory involved in DJing. I need to understand what key this song is in before I blend it with another song.
Oh, really?
Yes. I need to understand the tempo, that is the speed we count in beats per minute. So I need to know, you know, this song is this number of beats per minute. If I stretch it to, let's say it's 95 beats per minute. If I stretch it to 120, it's going to sound really bad.
Yeah.
You know, just a joke I'd like to share as DJs, where an artist is performing and the DJ has really increased the tempo. So the artist now is like, my song doesn't go like this, but I'm already performing. And they're looking at the DJ and thinking, what song is that you're playing? So there are things like that you have to understand.
Yeah.
People who bypass those things then don't understand them. Again, things like beat counting. Like you need to understand that this verse has 16 beats. So if I blend it with this other instrumental, I'm supposed to remove the instrumental at this point so that now this song can play. Ooh. I know you've not understood anything, but it just says that you need to, when you're listening to a good DJ, you'll hear, like, let me say just practically, like a song is playing, and when the chorus fades, that's when the other song comes in. And it doesn't clash, it's just a smooth blend.
Yeah.
So to do that, you need to understand, you know, the beats that are in this song, in this other song. Another thing is scratching. Scratching is so hard. Like when a DJ,
that thing.
We used to kesha at anniversary towers the whole night, doing
a whole night.
It used to be called kufungua mkono. You know, your hand is not used to that movement.
Yeah.
So your muscles are not used to that movement. So for them to be used to, you know, to it, and, you know, for your muscles to, you know, so that you're able to even do it faster, the whole night. So we're like two DJs, you get on the decks for 1 hour, just doing that. Very boring. But eventually, now when you're blending, you know, it sounds really good.
It's become muscle memory.
Muscle memory, that is how it works. So we used to have scratches for the right hand, scratches for the left hand if you're right-handed. We know that there's this scratch that is really, you know, it requires a lot of work. So you put it on the right. The easier one, you put it on the left, and you combine them. Again, that is all to say that there's a reason why not all DJs or people just who call themselves DJs get through it and, you know, and become known DJs, or even make something that you don't want to listen to. You have to sharpen that axe regardless of what you're doing. For musicians, I know musicians who do a lot of practice. Church helps. That is why I said it is best to get our artist from the church, because someone who's serving in church on Sunday, they are going to practice. Maybe there's practice on Wednesday, there's practice on Saturday and Sunday morning. So they really brush up on it. So I took a lot of time to sharpen the axe. Patience.
Before you get to patience.
Yes.
Because I want us to listen to another song. So we've talked about desire, and you touched on how, you know, just you acquiring knowledge through your degree was crucial.
Yes.
And then you've talked about just sharpening that skill. And then now, welcome back to Motivation Monday, where we bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. Today, as we talk about leveraging your gifts. Yes, it is possible for you to be able to leverage your gifts. But also, this is a good time for me to remind us that we are able to continue having conversations like this by virtue of partnership with men and women like yourself. And so if you will desire to be one of our partners by way of prayer or through financial giving, kindly do send us an SMS to 20316 with the word partner, and somebody will get back to you. But in the event that you have something that you like to give, feel free to do that through the paybill number 316 and for account, kindly write your phone number. DJ Rife is our guest today.
Yes.
Welcome back, sir.
Asante.
Now, you're telling us just some of the things that you found useful in your own career as an artist, and specifically as a DJ. And you just started touching on patience. So tell us a bit about that.
Oh yeah, so when I started DJing, I mentioned I started DJing straight after high school.
Yeah.
So I left high school 2006, so 2007 I had already started.
Yeah.
And the first time I got any kind of money from DJing was in 2013.
Oof.
Yes.
From 2007
to 2013.
Wow.
That is 5 to 6 years. And again, it's also good to mention that through that time, I went to university as well.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to focus on DJing 100%.
Yeah.
And again, it's also to say that sometimes you say, I want to focus on something, but you don't need that much time to focus on it. What I mean is, someone may say, I don't want to go to university, I want to focus on music.
Yeah.
But you see, you don't sing from morning to evening.
That's true.
So you're
you can still do school.
Yes.
And focus on whatever gift.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't take, a lot of these things that we do, especially as creatives, they don't take the whole day.
Yeah.
And school also doesn't take the whole day.
Yeah.
Or something else, or a job may not even take the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, I took a lot of time before I got any kind of money. But when I did, it was really worth it. That's what I'm saying. When I did, it was really worth it. And through all that time, I was going through a phase where we say, I used to say natumiwa, like people are using me.
Yeah.
Like, how am I?
Churches are calling you.
You just want me to just show up. You don't care about how I'm able to get there. But what I learned is that God had used that time to work on me. Work on my heart, number one. Not to be, to have all that pride of I'm a big DJ.
Yeah.
So I'm a big DJ, and then it humbles you to remember, but I don't have money.
I'm a big DJ with small pockets.
Exactly. So what happened, just something specific that happened, is there was where my turnaround financially came through. Yeah. There was a competition called Gifted DJs. That was in 2015, I think.
Yeah.
So Gifted DJs was a competition where, DJs come in and you showcase, and, the winner gets DJ equipment.
Yeah.
So I won that competition, and I got equipment worth 700,000 shillings.
Wow.
At the time I used to pray, I remember telling God, we have different kinds of DJ players.
Yeah.
So there's one called the 800. So 800 is a basic one, but works well. But there was the 2000, which is now the best in the world, the pioneered equipment. So I remember I was just praying to God and saying, God, just throw me even two 800s, just an 800. I don't even want anything more than that.
Yeah.
God gave me the 2000s.
Wow.
The best equipment in the world.
Wow.
I used that equipment for years and years. And at the time, they were also giving you 5 events where they were paying for those events.
Yeah.
And from those events, I opened Captain DJ Academy in town.
Yeah.
God continued opening doors through radio, through TV, through events. And where I am right now, I'm now a bit behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So planning events, production, like TV production as well, and event production and management and all those things. Yeah. And it all came from DJing. Yeah. That is where it all stemmed from. So I would like to say it's really, really important to be patient in anything that you're doing. Yeah. Another thing that is important is to learn as much as you can about your field. The experts are always relevant. If you're an expert in your field, like you know a lot about that field,
you will always be relevant.
You'll always be relevant. So you're working in an organization, learn as much as possible about that organization. That way, you'll be able even to have your eyes open on opportunities. Yeah. And that is how it works. The more you learn, the more opportunities you'll see. Yeah. But if you just closed in, and you're like, okay, I'm getting this money at the end of the month. Yeah. They tell me to press this button.
I press it.
I press it.
One day they will be younger than you.
Exactly. And now you'll get to that point where you're complaining. If you don't look at opportunities within your field, you'll be complaining when there are kids who are 19 years old and they are doing exactly what you can do better. Yeah. That's true. And they know how to use AI. You do not know what AI is. And by the way, anyone watching us now, and you don't know what artificial intelligence is, just start getting that information now. Oh yes, so I think it really helped to learn as much as possible about my field, and also have good relationships with people. That is why when I do an event today, there's not single gospel artist that I'll talk to and they're like, I can't work with Raf. No. First of all, the relationship, every time you meet people, wear a smile on your face. Yeah. Be a nice person to them. Have conversations with them. We are told people will always remember how you made them feel. Yeah. That is up to you. So don't say, God is closing doors if you
close them. How you related with people.
You know, and that is something that I personally had to learn.
Yeah.
I was told at one point that my face is like a stop sign. Like you're just angry. Like I'm just here. You can imagine. Even we're having this conversation and I'm just like this. You know, people are wondering, what is wrong with this person? So just being approachable, being someone who, every time the kids these days wanasema good vibes. Just be a good vibes guy. Be that person who, you know, we can have a 20-second chat and I'm like, I like that guy. I'd like to spend more time with that person. Those are people skills that we need to learn as well. And then now to where I am now, I don't know if you are ready now to get into, you know, the family side of things.
Exactly. And actually that is where I want us to sort of wrap this up, because to be honest, I think, especially the Kenyan scene, and not just the Kenyan scene, you know, the world scene, when we think about artists and creatives generally, if there's one area we don't see a lot, it's the area of family. And even as a parent, I think I would be worried for my own child if they wanted to go into the creative space, because I'm like, you know, will they think about life holistically? So how does that look like? Because it didn't come up in the introduction. So how does that space of family look like for you?
I'm married. I've been married for, it's going to 3 years now. I have an 11-year-old. How that happened is I married someone who had a child. And, you know.
And kudos to you. I think we need to celebrate more men that are able to do that.
And again, we'll have that conversation maybe another day. But what I just like to mention about that, because, you know, that catches people's attention and they're like, God gives you love for that child. God gave me so much love for that child, and God has given me another child who is now 1 year and 2 months old. Yes, and we are happy. I'm happily married, and I am a creative. It's possible.
I like that. You're happily married.
Yes.
And you are a creative.
And I'm a creative.
You should put that on a t-shirt, you know. I'm giving you ideas. Please, when you do that, bring royalties.
It's very possible. Let's not, you know, get too much into the culture. You know, there's the culture. There's how people say things work. There's how God says things should work. And how he makes them work. And I think that's the right way to follow. So family is really, really important. I've seen many artists who ignore family, and then later on, you get to a point where now you're looking back, and I really, one thing I really hate, I really don't like regrets. You know, so sometimes I've seen that happen. It's really sad. There are people who, you know, for proper reasons are not able to get in relationships. Again, we're not applying pressure on you, but if you are able to get into a marriage, and especially if you already have, take care of your family. I'm learning. Again, I've been told, if you've been married 2-3 years, don't also advise people too much about marriage. But maybe I can advise people who have not gotten into it,
haven't gotten into
or have done 1 year.
Based on your 3 years experience.
Yes, I am proof that marriage can work for 3 years.
And no, I think, and that is legitimate, to be honest, because I think there are two sides to that. Also, we can paint this gloomy, sad picture of marriage. I mean, I know people who've been married for 30-40 years who are happy. And so I also don't buy that, you know, do not advise if you're, because it seems as though, because I think the attitude there is you have not seen anything yet. But I have seen people, 30-40 years, who have done marriage well and are enjoying marriage. Now, as we conclude this conversation then, maybe in a minute or so, what would be your parting shot to somebody there that is feeling, I think I have a gift. How can I leverage it? Or to a parent there wondering, oi, have I wasted all my money in school and in all these things only for my child to tell me this is what they want to do?
I think, first of all, it's good to acknowledge where the gifts come from. They come from God. And the reason why God put them there is for his glory and for our enjoyment, really. You know, you have this gift, you can sing really well. You enjoy singing. God is happy when you're happy that you're singing. Even before we get even deeper than that, you can use that gift as a tool. It's up to us to understand that and know that God didn't just put this thing here by mistake. And again, there's Judgment Day. Let's also be serious about that. That if you know that there's something that you had as a gift that you could have used to bring people to Christ and you didn't use it, you'll be answerable for that.
Yeah.
It's really, really important for us also to be skilled at what we do. Let's not get to those, back in the day, people used to say, don't listen to the voice, listen to the words. It doesn't work like that. We have ears and we can hear that your voice is not amazing. You have not worked on it. Let us sharpen that skill. Let us be those people that, if it's public speaking, like as pastors do, you know, it's a skill as well.
Yeah.
You
Sharpen
know,
it as well.
Sharpen it.
Yeah.
Sharpen your skill. Be patient. Learn as much as possible as you can about your industry. You'll be able to maneuver.
Yeah.
God guides us.
Yeah.
As long as we are taking that step. And I'm really happy to be here. This is my really my first time on this platform, and I'm really honored. I hope that you'll invite me again.
Asante, most definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're doing such an amazing job.
Thank you, DJ Raf. Thank you so
Asante.
much. We do hope and pray that this conversation will minister to someone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, we have come to the end of our conversation for today on Motivation Monday. Yes, we've been talking about leveraging your gifts from someone that has actually done just that has made a career out of DJing. Imagine. Well, this is goodbye from us. We do hope and pray that this has been meaningful to you as a parent or someone there who is gifted in one way or the other. Would love to hear in what ways this conversation has been of ministry to you, and so send us your comments, your feedback, 20316, which is our SMS line, 0786 316 316, which is our WhatsApp line. This is goodbye from us.